If y'all want to see some bullshit, just watch this here. Nikki Haley, of course, former governor of South Carolina. She worked as the ambassador to the UN for Donald Trump. Let me tell you what her trifling ass did. I'm just gonna go ahead and play for y'all what her trifling, sorry ass had to say at a Herschel Walker rally about Senator Raphael Warnock. Hit play.
Illegal immigrants are more patriotic than the leftists these days. They knew they worked to come into America, and they love America. They want the laws followed in America. So the only person that we need to make sure we deport is Warnock.
Play that bullshit again.
Illegal immigrants are more patriotic than the leftists these days. They knew they worked to come into America, and they love America. They want the laws followed in America. So the only person that we need to make sure we deport is Warnock.
First of all, Nimrata, your name ain't Nikki. Your name is Nimrata Haley. Senator Raphael Warnock was born, in fact, you're Nimrata Nikki Ron Hawa. That's actually your name. Your daddy, Nikki, your daddy, Nimrata, immigrated from India. Your daddy. Senator Raphael Warnock, Nimrata, is from Savannah, Georgia. His daddy and mama are from Savannah. Nimrata, Warnock doesn't have an immigrant history. You do. Your daddy is from India. Your daddy not from Indiana. You were born in South Carolina, Nimrata, but your daddy wasn't born in South Carolina. Yeah. Your mama wasn't born in South Carolina. Your mama and daddy came to America. So if anybody would get deported, it would be you, Nimrata Nikki Ron Hawa Haley, because your lineage ain't in this country. On the other hand, Raphael Warnock, his ancestors didn't have the option to be immigrants. His ancestors, Nimrata Nikki Ron Hawa Haley, came here in chains. They were stolen labor. They were property. Nimrata Nikki Ron Hawa Haley. So for you to stand at a rally and you are campaigning for a black man who, if we were in Georgia a couple of 100 years ago, absolutely would have been a Mandingo. Absolutely would have been in the field. Mm-hmm. And all of these Republicans, they ain't saying nothing. Nobody wants to say a word. Nimrata Nikki Ron Hawa Haley. Renita, you can go ahead and comment, because she gonna make me cuss.
You already did cuss.
Renita, go ahead.
This is what I think is interesting. First of all, what was Nikki Haley even doing in Georgia? Because I can tell you in the 6 years of serving in the House of Representatives in Georgia, I've heard exactly 0 Republicans ever be excited about Nikki Haley. I think this is a sign that Herschel Walker's campaign is desperate, because what we've seen on the ground here is that ever since his son, Christian Walker, came out and basically said, hey, listen, I know the man and he can't stop lying, Republicans have really fallen back on Georgia Republicans have fallen back on defending Herschel. They are sick of defending these lies all the time, and they're sick of defending his behavior, like pulling out fake cop badges. So I think that really this is just a sign of Herschel being desperate and bringing in somebody that nobody cares about. We hadn't heard anything from Nikki Haley in years, I would say, as a country. And I think everybody pretty much preferred it that way. I know I certainly would like to go back to not hearing from Nikki Haley. Jason?
Yeah, so couple things. Number one, I think what your other guest said was 100% correct. I haven't thought about Nikki Haley at all. She hasn't even come up in conversation. I haven't, there was one point where people were talking about she may run for president. I don't hear those conversations, and I'm around some of those right-wing people, and I never hear her name come up anymore. She's an afterthought, and I don't think she's going to make any kind of difference. I will say I don't want to get into making fun of her name. Or
No. I didn't make fun of her name. I actually pronounced her name because see, if you don't give the history, if you only say Nikki Haley, but if you don't explain to people where her mama and daddy are from, then they'll think, well, why are you bringing this up? No, she isn't. She is a child of Indian immigrants, not Warnock. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I agree 100%. I just want to make sure that the audience understands that it's not, we don't want to do the whole Barack Hussein Obama thing. You know what I mean?
No. What I'm doing is, what I'm not doing, first of all, you ain't got to throw Hussein in. Hell, the man first name is Barack, last name Obama. Hell, you figured his whole damn name black. He wasn't running as Barry. He ran as Barack. She's running as Nikki. She's Nimrata, Nikki, Ronhawa, Haley. And I'm established that because if she gonna say somebody should get deported, only 2 people we talking about right now ain't from here.
Right. No, I hear you. I was just pointing that out.
You ain't got to point it out. I know what her name is, and she know what her name is. And her mama and daddy ain't from here.
No, they're not. They're not.
So she gonna how about deport somebody? Nikki, there's a country you can get sent back to, not Raphael. He could go back to Savannah, but that's where he's home from. Real quick, Julian, your comment before I go to my next guest.
Talking about Raphael Warnock is a descendant of enslaved people. He's talked about his background. How dare she? You say you need to stop cussing. I had something, I can't say it on the air, but that heifer, that's the nicest thing I can say, has nerve, the temerity to talk about a black man who's a descendant of slaves. But that's why she's going making the money she's making. Her children's book has failed, and she has failed. She is irrelevant, as everybody else has said on the panel, a footnote, and it's kind to call her a footnote. What she is a blip in the wind, and let's leave it at that.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Exercise your right to vote. If the lines are long or you're getting turned away, call or text 1-866-OUR-VOTE. For more information, call or text 1-866-OUR-VOTE.
I am Letitia Hill Gadet, owner of Ottendorf Laboratories. In America, our freedom of speech and the right to peacefully protest is a wonderful thing, but faith without works is dead. Will you take souls to the polls? If you don't vote, all of your activities were done in vain. I am an ordained minister, a presiding elder in the AME Zion Church, a wife, a mother. I am spending my time and my resources to encourage you to vote.
Paid for by Ottendorf Laboratories.
We've got to stand up. Republicans are banning abortion rights, tearing down democracy, blocking progress. But when Democrats stand together, we win. Because we voted, Democrats stood up for Black lives, voting to ban police chokeholds, stood up for Black women, putting one on the Supreme Court, stood up for our families, lowering cost of health care and prescriptions and capping insulin, and stood up for millions by slashing student debt. This November, let's stand up together and keep making progress.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?